Good evening. This is All Sports with LD coming back at you with another YouTube post from my YouTube channel. Before I get into this evening's content, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Okay, so let's get to this. If you were to have told me that by being a USC Trojan fan myself, that we would be here late in the season and there would be a quarterback controversy, I would laugh at you and say you're lying. But it's unbelievable that we are in fact here after firing Clay Helton. I thought surely things would be looking up for the Trojans. To me, they cleared what I thought was a coach unprepared to coach at this level. And now we're in the middle of a quarterback controversy. And what this proves is this is the leftover baggage that Clay Helton has left. It also proves that he didn't prepare his assistant coaching staff to be leaders in the event, say, he was fired. But the fact that the interim coach, Donte Williams, cannot make a decisive decision on who his starting quarterback is problematic. As I remember going back, I believe it was 2015, Urban Meyer was coaching Ohio State Buckeyes. And he also tried the two quarterback system, and it failed miserably. I don't know of any D1 college football team and or NFL team that has been successful with a two quarterback system. Sure, the second string quarterback will come in. Let's say the starting quarterback gets injured. Some teams would even bring the second string quarterback in to one of a few plays on the Wildcat offense. But overall, most programs name their starting quarterback before the season begins. And as I have watched many of the games, well, not many, I'll take that back, a few of the games, it's clear to me who the starting quarterback should be. And that's Jackson Dart. I mean, really, what do I know? I'm just a guy on YouTube with an opinion, but surely my eyes have seen the difference between Slovis and Dart in terms of how the team plays for the individual quarterbacks. Slovis has had his opportunity to prove that he can be the starting quarterback, but under his lead, the offense plays with no energy. And it's partly because the coaching staff, their plays are predictable and unimaginable. However, him as a leader, he just doesn't get the job done. One of the things I noticed about him, he holds on the ball too long. And whereas when Jackson Dart came in and played that one game, you saw the difference in how the offense played. The offense played with full of energy. And this young kid came in and threw over 300 yards, I believe, if I remember correctly. And he brought them back. It was against Oregon State, if I remember correctly. They were down 14-0. This young freshman comes in and brings them back to victory. I think the final score was 45-14. And it clearly showed that he was the better of the two quarterbacks in that one game. Unfortunately, he injured his knee during that game and had to sit out a few games. Then we go back to Slovis, and you see how lethargic the offense seems to play. In addition to that, they use Drake London far too often. And that was another thing I looked at. Even before Drake London got injured, I was looking at this and I'm like, okay, so when does the coaching staff develop another wide receiver? Now, Drake London's injured. Now, who's going to step up now? Because they haven't developed any other wide receivers, or it appears that they haven't developed any other wide receivers on this team. So, your guess is as good as mine who's going to step up in the wide receiver. They have virtually the running game is okay. This used to be tailback U. I don't know who's going to start from game to game or who's going to get the most reps in terms of the running game. Right now the Trojans are it's just chaos. And a lot of this has to do with what Clay Helton left behind. And a lot of it has to do with right now they just have leaderless leaders on the coaching staff for the USC Trojans. And it's pathetic. Most of the fans don't want to show up for the games at the LA Coliseum, and I don't blame them. Why would you want to show up to see this team go out and make a mockery of what the Trojan tradition has been? Why would you want to see that? I certainly don't want to see it. I haven't watched a full game of the Trojans since that Oregon State game when they won 45-14. I just don't have the energy to sit back and watch a team through no fault of its own just goes through the motions. So in my mind, it's also clear that Donte Williams is not the next coach for the USC Trojans. He cannot make a decisive decision. At least name your starting quarterback. I mean, if you're going to stick with Slovis, say you're going to stick with Slovis and let this be done. If you're going to choose Dart and let this be done. This is actually very pathetic, emotional draining for the players that are involved. Leaderless leadership. That's what this shows. And I don't know. Are they going to win Saturday? I doubt it. I don't have any confidence this team will pull a victory out. They're just in total chaos. Well, maybe next season it'll be better. Maybe they'll, at the end of this season, choose a legitimate head coach who will pick a legitimate coaching staff and bring the Trojans back to prominence as they once were. That's what I have for now. Until next time, have a good one.